wants to ask me a question, feel free.
I have a question. Is that really a priest? Is that Father?
He should be a priest.
He should be a priest.
Okay? He's not.
I have to say, he's such a character. I don't know if you wrote the lines for him, and then, or if he just kind of,
No,
like he is such a character.
He does his thing, okay? And also, he can never repeat the same line over and over again, which you have to do when you're filming. I shot this with one camera, so you have to shoot it from different angles, and people are supposed to be, repeating the same motion and all that. So when you cut it together, you can seamlessly cut. And of course, he says one thing on one cut, he says something else on another take, and all this. So, but he's so natural, and he's so good, and he should have been a priest. I grew up with a lot of priests. I was sort of a lapsed Catholic, still kind of lapsed, and I grew up on Long Island, and I had a lot of really wonderful priests that I grew up with. And they've been getting such a bad rap the last few years and all that, that I wanted to sort of show the side that I know, and the side that Jim knows too. And so this just magically came about. I mean, I found the girl through Craigslist. I just put an ad in the Craigslist, a week or so before we're going to start shooting. I also found the guy that did the musical score. I mean, which really adds so much to the production and feeling that we all feel. And I really love the first film also. Really got to me. And so even watching this every now and then, I kind of choke up a little bit. So, but any other?
Where did you film?
Yeah, I've done all the films like around where I live. That's my house, you see them there. And it's the greatest set. And I live in like a lake community. So I'm always shooting around the lake and try to get local people that live really close by. So come on over, let's shoot a scene. It's nice weather or whatever, I just figured out something, oh, let's try this. And it's so sort of easy now to make films. And we can all do it, everyone's got a computer and a camera. And it's about the story. I'm speaking with one of the other filmmakers, and I'm a photographer. I make a living, and I'm starting to do video now as the DSLRs, shoot video. So I'm starting to do a video production. But I was mainly concerned with the visuals a lot. That's what I really get into. But it's all about the story, the visuals, and the sound. You got to have good sound. But I wound up doing a lot on this. And sometimes it's easier now not to have a whole crew with you, sort of just myself and maybe one other person. Hi.
Why this story?
Excuse me?
Why this story?
Why this story?
Oh, why this story? Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. I mean, I started, the main Father McGuire is an actor, just a regular guy, but he was on Rescue Me, the TV show with the fire department. He played a priest in it. So he had this priest outfit. So, and I'm photographers, I was working on portfolio images. We started doing some dramatic priest photos. And going into the cemetery or somewhere and doing these funky shots and lighting them up and all that. And then we're doing it, and this character started to develop. And I wanted to give it more of a voice, so I got a writer. He wound up writing a few short stories. And I was trying to figure out how to put everything all together. And then the movie making challenge came up. And I said, let's just do Father McGuire. I mean, this is a Father McGuire. And then I got the girl, the lead girl from Craigslist. I mean, everything just sort of came together a little bit. That's my dog. And I rescued her, or she rescued me, one or the other. I found her on the streets about a year and a half ago. And and Jim, whenever I work with Jim, I had been to some other filming, the 48-hour ones when you do it, and sometimes they get really crazy and weird because you got 48 hours and you do a horror thing and it's all silly and crazy. And so he went to one of those and he's like, oh man, these movies. And he's old school. He always says, oh, have you seen this movie with Cary Grant in it and all these other actors? I'm like, okay. So he's like an old school guy. So he wanted to do something that was sort of old schoolish and not just craziness and modern cuts and all this. So we sort of came up with this.
One more question, anybody?
I loved your shots in the piece. I was particularly curious how you got the shots at the beginning on the bridge, or if you had anything, like because you had, it looked like there was a shot where, it was like a low angle shot where she was gonna jump down and.
Yeah.
Like you really were bridge, did you guys, was that like a real bridge there, or was that like a lower part?
It's a real bridge, but it's a really tiny bridge. I mean,
Okay,
it's just, yeah, it's just a bridge on like in a reservoir.
okay.
And so it's like a lake, and there's sort of like a walkway that goes by, and there's this sort of bridge that's, you know, it's within a few minutes of my house.
Nice.
And, you know, luckily there was a little area that you could step down, you know, and I sort of scouted it a little bit a day or two before, and then this just magically came together. But, yes, it was right there. It wasn't a huge thing.
It looked
Yeah.
awesome, yeah, that was really cool.
Hey, thanks so much. Oh, and the required element, this particular film challenge of 3 weeks, they only gave you one word, they said, that had to be, what's called the secret element. And it was jump. So that's where I said, oh, she's on a bridge, she's gonna jump, suicide, you know. And then we got everything into it. And just had some really wonderful people, and we just huge collaboration.